Truth on winter. I love you, and I want you all to receive the absolute truth in all things, and I pray that you receive discernment, understanding, and on this topic. I pray that you accept the truth, and I pray for you. It's like a spell is being cast onto the world during this time of the winter solstice. There are pagan witches and warlocks casting enchantments and spells upon the people through shops, television, radio, so as to make the world conform to the world system, the beast system. As you're watching Christmas movies, it will play a story so as to manipulate your heart into thinking that there is no evil or wrong in this, when there is. It is just hidden within, so as not to grasp your attention. It always begins from the middle of December till the beginning of January. You begin to feel this feeling that is only an enchantment, a false feeling. Then suddenly it will go away once New Year is over. It is during a pagan time, approaching the pagan holiday. The pagans will get together with the witches and begin their enchantments and spells so as to deceive the whole world, and Christians will just go along with it. Knowledge is power. The story, background on how we got to the modern day Christmas. Before the Tower of Babel, there was this lady called Semiramis. Some say that she is the same lady that is referred to in the Bible as the Queen of Heaven. Semiramis, and we have Nimrod. And you can see the lineage of where Nimrod came from through Noah's son, and you can check that out in the scripture. Semiramis, she was high up on herself, and she was saying that she was never born, that she was this goddess deity, and Nimrod was running around saying that he was a godlike man, that nobody could kill him. He ended up being killed and his body parts were scattered. The story goes that she went out seeking his body parts, and she came back with the body part of him that is used for procreation. So she ends up getting pregnant and comes up with this story, that she got pregnant by the spirit of Nimrod. That's the story she told. So she's telling everyone it's Immaculate Conception. She has this baby by the name of Nimrod. The baby is born. The baby's name is Tammuz. Tammuz rose up a little bit. She has issues, and she decides to marry Tammuz. So all the meanwhile, she has people worshipping her, and she has them worshipping the dead Nimrod, who she now says she has reincarnated as the sun god, and is to be worshipped as the sun god. So she has this immaculate conceived child, Tammuz, born on December 25th. How convenient, the day of the winter solstice. It's around the shortest day of the year. It was anywhere between December 21st mark and December 25th. And there was a ceremonial time for them. And then they believed that the sun was reborn and started coming back to life. Like the sun was slowly dying and the sun came back to life and was kind of resurrected. And so we have it telling people that Nimrod is now the sun god. His immaculate conceived child is born during winter solstice on the day when we would see the sun start to come back to life and have its resurrection and rebirth. So we have the Tower of Babel situation where God dispersed all his people, and he mixed up their languages because they tried to build that tower to heaven and create the one world order way back then. Nope, not time for that yet. So he dispersed them, changed the languages, confused the language. So now we have this same legend of the sun god of these pagan practices. So people nowadays who are involved in pagan worship or witchcraft, December 25th, the time of the winter solstice, they would be celebrated that Untum Mithras. One of the pagan practices was cutting down a tree because the evergreen was not only was it the shape of an obsculace, but it was also the evergreen, was a sign of life and fertility in the midst of the dead and cold winter.